Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
A dark day in American history. Rioters storm the Capitol, overwhelming police. The group of President Trump supporters smashing their way into the Capitol building, putting a halt to the Electoral College vote to certify President-elect Joe Biden's win. Members of both parties calling it an attack on democracy.
To those who wreaked havoc in our Capitol today, you did not win. Violence never wins.
Those who perform these reprehensible acts cannot be called protesters. No, these were rioters and insurrectionists, goons and thugs, domestic terrorists.
A curfew now in effect with the National Guard called in to restore order. And as we arrive at the 11 o'clock hour, live pictures from the Senate floor with both the Senate and the House back in session, saying they will work as late as needed to finish work on counting the electoral votes. The Senate moments ago rejecting a challenge to throw out Arizona's electoral votes. The vote goes on in the House on that matter. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, you just heard, comparing January 6th with Pearl Harbor Day, a day that he says will now live in infamy.
Lawmakers forced to hide as rioters break windows and invade congressional offices. In the end, one woman was shot and killed inside the Capitol building, and at least 15 arrests were made. NBC News reporting those arrests included someone from Michigan. A curfew is in effect in Washington until 6 a.m. Alice Barr is in our nation's capital with the very latest.
The nation's capital on lockdown tonight, under curfew, hours after the U.S. Capitol and democracy itself came under siege. One person was fatally shot in 3 hours of chaos after a mob of supporters of President Trump and his false claims about the election surrounded and then stormed the Capitol. The drama unfolded this afternoon as lawmakers had just begun the traditional process of counting electoral votes, confirming Joe Biden's victory as the next president. Vice President Mike Pence and members of the House and Senate forced to take cover as rioters rushed past heavily armed officers, in many cases virtually unchallenged. Some made their way into the well of the House and the Senate, defiantly standing their ground in a place where elected officials had been doing their work only minutes earlier. One lawmaker likened it to crashing the gate of the People's House. President-elect Biden had harsher words.
It's not protest. It's insurrection.
President Trump said little to defuse the powder keg, but after lawmakers returned to count the votes, Vice President Pence led several Republicans in condemning the mob.
To those who wreaked havoc in our Capitol today, you did not win.
They tried to disrupt our democracy. They failed.
An unforgettable day on Capitol Hill and a dark one in this nation's history. Alice Barr, Local 4.
Some of Michigan's congressional delegation was evacuated while others told to shelter in place.
Congressman Dan Kildee was on the House floor when the chaos broke out. So was Congresswoman Lisa McClain, newly arrived on Capitol Hill. Mara McDonald live downtown, and you spoke with both of them, Mara.
I sure did, Devin, and as a matter of fact, Congressman Kildee turned his phone on and started recording. He shared with that video with us so you can really get sort of a first-person perspective of what it was like inside the chamber. Take a look. Kildee was evacuated from the House floor as the Capitol Police were swarmed, and his thoughts on what happened today are clear. The president incited this, and his response to it?
It's deranged. He's completely mentally unfit for any position of responsibility and continues to prove that. This is the most egregious example of it.
The natural follow-up, I asked, is do you think it's time for the 25th Amendment?
I believe it is. Obviously, he is mentally unfit for this office, and there are consequences to that lack of fitness.
Newly elected Congresswoman Lisa McClain was also on the House floor and had to be evacuated. She thinks the president did not do enough to quell the riot.
Any type of violence is completely unacceptable. And it's my job as a leader to bring peace and calm and de-escalation to a situation. So I think things could have been done a little bit better, yeah.
Congresswoman Slotkin has been sheltering in place in her office all day.
I hope that the scenes that people are watching TV on TV, you know, of our Capitol, which is such an iconic building, and the violence and the pictures that are coming out of the destruction inside. The use of tear gas inside the U.S. Capitol is just beyond the pale. And I think that my fervent hope is that it shocks the system a bit. It shocks the body politic, and that people who have sort of been watching this from afar and not loving it, but sort of kind of just thinking that it's somewhere else, will now say, you know what, being silent about threats to our democracy is being complicit.
Back here live, McLean told me that she hasn't made a final decision on whether she is going to object to any of these states' electoral votes, that it's something that she has to consider, has not made a final determination on. I will say that after speaking with numerous members of the delegation, the real question is this: what further can they expect as far as violence goes over the coming days? It is something they are concerned about. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
No doubt security's got to be in the back of everyone's mind there at the Capitol tonight, even so. All right, Mara.
A much different scene this afternoon in Lansing, where supporters of President Trump gathered outside the state capitol. The demonstration remained peaceful, with everyone leaving before dark. The group of several hundred demanded that Congress investigate allegations of election fraud.
Governor Whitmer turning to social media to condemn the rioting at the Capitol.
The governor also calling for national unity.
We've had an election. We've voted. It is time to move forward as a nation. And the actions of these people who are trying to stage a coup and wreak violence on the very foundation of our democracy is appalling and abhorrent. And I'm hopeful that people of goodwill on both sides of the aisle will join me in calling for calm and peace.
Former Republican Governor Rick SNYDER issued a joint statement along with Governor Whitmer tonight. His statement reads, quote, "We must always remember that we are Americans first and we are not one another's enemy. That's why I join with Governor Whitmer in calling on people of goodwill across America to pray for peace, calm, and healing." Stay with Local 4 and click on Detroit.com. We'll have updates on tonight's Electoral College vote throughout the night, as well as live coverage from Washington, D.C. on Local 4 News today, beginning at 4:30 a.m.
The majority of the U.S. Senate tips to the Democrats after a sweep in Georgia's runoff elections. Democrat John Ossoff defeated the incumbent Republican David Perdue, and the Democrat Raphael Warnock defeated incumbent Republican Kelly Loeffler. Both margins very slim, but above the 0.5% recount threshold. So the U.S. Senate now has 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris would cast any tie-breaking votes, giving the Democrats the edge. The state announcing today people 65 years of age and older can get the coronavirus vaccine starting on Monday, which is January 11th.
That will also include some essential workers, such as school and child care workers, first responders, as well as jail and prison staff. Jason Colthorpe live in Southfield tonight. Jason, people outside of this next group are asking, when will we get the vaccine?
Exactly. Doctors, though, Kim, first want people to be convinced to get the shot, but they say more and more people are coming around to that. As for the why and the how for everyone else, well, they might not like this answer, but it's simply, don't call us, we'll call you.
Is actually, as of the past 2 hours, going to grow exponentially in speed.
The head of orthopedics at Royal Oak Beaumont referring to the governor's announcement today that should speed up the rollout of the COVID vaccine.
By January 11th, all counties may begin vaccinating Michiganders who are 65 and up. This will include some essential workers who will also be vaccinated, workers like our school and child care staff, frontline local, state, and federal first responders, and staff in our jails and prisons and shelters.
So how will you know when to get vaccinated? Keep an eye on the MDHHS and county websites, as well as click on Detroit.com for the alert that your group is eligible.
The one thing, let me stress though, is do not contact your personal physician.
You might even get an email from hospitals like Beaumont. It has already sent out invitations to 60,000 people, mostly its employees, and vaccinated 17,000. It's doubled capacity to 3,400 a day and is planning to open more sites as more people become eligible.
And what I tell everybody is you have two choices at this point. You either get the vaccine or you get COVID. And nobody wants to get COVID. But, you know, I understand the reluctance. So what we really ask of our healthcare providers is once you get the vaccine, is become a vaccine ambassador and let everybody know how important it is to get the vaccine.
By the way, new numbers from the CDC tonight show Michigan is actually 11th best in the nation in administering the first doses of the vaccine. But still, the governor today made a point to blame the federal government for not getting enough doses to Michigan as for reasons why there was a lag in the initial rollout. But if you watched us last night, we reported there's a bit of a math problem with that because the state's been sitting on almost 400,000 doses waiting for those to be administered. And when the governor was asked specifically, how can you blame the feds for that? She simply said, it's complicated, and then gave the question to Dr. Caldoun. Back to you.
Listen, very quickly, we heard the doctor say, don't call your physician. Why is that? What's that all about?
Well, we know the vaccine needs to be stored at a cold temperature, especially the Pfizer vaccine. That's something your family physician isn't capable of in the local doctor's office. So basically, it's keep your eyes on your email, watch social media, watch Local 4. That's where you're going to know when it's your turn.
All right. Jason, we thank you. Now to today's numbers. The state reporting 4,326 new cases of COVID-19 in the past 24 hours. Along with that, 51 more Michiganders have lost their lives in the past day. We've got much more to come here at 11. Let's check in with Ben.
We are on a sunshine hunt, Kim and Devin, and I think we may have found it tomorrow. At least some of it. We'll show you when the rest of the sun will decide to grace us with its presence coming up.
Eureka. All right, Ben. But first, what Chief Craig is blaming for a major uptick in shootings and homicides in the city this past year. The year-end crime numbers are next.
But before we go to break here, we do want to return to live pictures from the Capitol, where the Senate and House are working to count the Electoral College votes.
We have just learned 4 people died at the Capitol today. 1 woman was shot by police. 3 others died from what are described as medical emergencies. We will be watching for any further developments from the electoral vote count. We'll have that for you on air and online at clickondetroit.com. Keep it here.